everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Black Impact. I am Tiffany, your host, and today I have a lovely guest here with me by the name of Corey Jones. You might think we cousins because we got the same last name, but we might be.
You never know.
Hey, Corey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Can't complain at all. It's the beginning of the week,
Good.
so just trying to get started on the right track.
Right, I understand that. So guys, Corey is a content creator and he's also a corporate professional who uses his platform to speak on navigating corporate life in America as a black man, balancing fatherhood and building meaning relationships in his mid 30s through content creation. Corey also shares real, relatable insight on identity, work ethic, imposter syndrome, and showing up authentically in spaces that always um, feel built for us. I mean, always aren't built for us. So, guys, we're here with Corey. Hey, Corey, let's get into these questions I got for you today. All right.
Hey, let's get into it. Happy to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you for also being a part of this experience. Um, I know everyone's schedule is busy, and I just really appreciate you for coming on.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me and inviting me. Feel honored.
Yes, thank you. So, what's something Black men do in corporate spaces that look like success, but actually is survival?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I've been in corporate for a while, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like from my experience, I feel like chasing accolades
Mm-hmm.
is one thing that I feel like a lot of black men feel like you have to be praised or you have to get some of these awards at work or you have to get these accolades. And it looks like success, but it's actually survival because if you're not a top performer, if you're not looked at one of the top black males
Right.
or males on a team in a company, then you might be one of the ones that get chopped, or they might look at you as not performing well. So I think a lot of
Mm,
times, feeling like we have to go above and beyond to get
beyond.
that recognition, um, of course, can look like success, but it's really just survival. Trying to make sure that
Yeah.
we still have a seat at the table. We're still, looked at as high performers.
Yeah, I have went through that before in corporate life of feeling like I have to overperform in industries so I could get that promotion, right? So I can stick out more than, some people do.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, I mean, standing out in corporate is sometimes the name of the game,
Yeah,
because you can easily get overlooked very
right.
fast.
We have to work 10 times harder than them just to be
hmm
seen, right?
hmm hmm
hmm Have you ever realized you were code switching or performing in corporate settings? And what did the moment reveal about your identity?
Code switching. Yeah, definitely when I first started in corporate, I think when I first got there, I realized like I was one of the few. So I was like, dang, like how do I even navigate this space? Because I didn't come from a background where I didn't have any family in corporate. My first corporate job, first person in my family in corporate. So I didn't have anybody kind of tell me like, hey, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, this is what you should watch out for. So I kind of just went in like, I guess I gotta try to
Yeah,
blend
blind
in.
eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta blend in. So I was like, feel like I was changing my voice a little bit. I feel like because I'm pretty laid back. So if you
hmm
know me, I'm very laid back. I'm not like a high pitch, like I'm not high
Yeah.
energy, like go, go, go. But I feel like I was kind of code switching to be that because my counterparts was also doing that.
Mm,
So I instantly realized like my identity isn't like high energy, pumped up and go. Like I'm very laid back, cool, calm, and collected. Um, and that's the way I kind of move throughout corporate and throughout my everyday life. So that's one thing about my identity that I realized, like, something I'm really code switching because I'm not like this at home. I'm not like this when I clock out. Like, I'm just doing this
yeah.
from 9 to 5 so I can get through the day and so I don't look like the eyeball out. So I think that's one thing that I realized instantly about my identity early on is just being truly me and authentically me and showing up continuously as cool, calm, and collected, not really trying to switch up my tone, my enthusiasm, and things like that.
You do that now, or are you saying just in general?
Yeah, early on I did.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, now I just show up as myself. I'm
Right.
I'm I'm cool, calm, and collected. And if y'all don't know, I work in recruiting, so I'm
Okay.
speaking with candidates and hiring managers all day and every day, and I come with the same exact tone. And
Okay.
oftentimes at the end of the process, working with candidates, they're like, I really enjoyed working with you. It's like it wasn't no pressure. It wasn't like you trying to sell me on anything. You was very
Yeah.
cool, calm, and collected, and it helped them choose to come to the company versus like feeling like they were pressured or someone was trying to like be highly enthusiastic to try to get them to come for some odd reason. Because I'm the type of
Mhm.
person where if you don't want the job, you don't want the job. If you don't want the offer, you don't want the offer. I'm not about to try to sway you and try to
Yeah.
pigeonhole you into feeling bad for not accepting the offer. It's life. So I think that's how I approach everything now on. Is just being myself, cool, calm, and collected, and see where it takes me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Do you think some black men are praised at work for traits that are actually rooted in trauma?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like yes, because I feel like we oftentimes have to come into a space where we sometimes have to avoid conflict, or they say we have to play the game, or overworking without complaining. What's another one? I think being extremely adaptable and unshakable. I think that's a trait that we oftentimes
Mm,
get. And I think some of those are rooted in a little bit of trauma from the corporate space because I feel like a lot of black men have dealt with unconscious bias at some point, and you kind of learn from that experience, and it sometimes forces you to move a different way.
yeah.
And then also, like we talked about earlier, having a code switch. Sometimes you might have to code switch, and you don't want
Yeah.
to, but sometimes
Right.
that forces you to have that experience in corporate, and then that trauma kind of gets in the back of your head, and now you're showing up in different ways. But I would say some of those initial traits would probably trigger into some trauma for sure.
I get that. I get that. Look, corporate America and me, I didn't have my fair share of just being overworked, overachieving just to get ahead and still not getting what I'm putting out, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I
that's
think
that's
also
traumatic.
Yeah, and also I think a part of it is knowing that balance of not being too emotional and not being too aggressive and trying to figure out what's that medium
Yeah.
that doesn't look a certain way to others. Because like
Right.
me and you, my aggressive might not look aggressive to
Look
you
right.
or
Right.
but
Right.
when we go to the other room,
Mm,
you're like, oh, Corey came in here guns blazing.
right, right,
And now
right.
you're like, dang, I thought I was just, being excited
Yeah.
about it or enthusiastic about it, but it actually looked like aggressive. So, trying to figure out how to balance those two um, can be an area where you move a little bit different and can cause a little bit of trauma moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. What's something black men experience in corporate America that will shock people if we said it out loud?
Hmm. Honestly, I think being silenced. I think being silenced. I think a lot of times, um, especially if you're like I remember when I was first started corporate, I was the only black male on the whole southeastern team. So
Okay.
I think that came with a lot of challenges. I also think that came with not people not understanding how to approach me for certain situations or how to come to me for certain situations, or they would send a coworker to come talk to me about something versus just coming to me directly.
Mm,
So I think that kind of made it feel like we're being silenced in an atmosphere where you can't speak your mind or you can't say what's on your mind or you might be looked at a certain way or people might be scared to approach you about it could be something personal, it could be something work related. So a lot of times it could be being in an environment and feeling silenced and feeling like you don't have a voice or you don't have a say, and it's all about like pushing that outside of your head and outside of your own mind and just pushing forward regardless. But I think that's one thing that I've dealt with, but also, talked to some others, and some of my other friends in corporate felt the same way. They kind of had to
Mhm.
push past that.
Yeah, I get that. I feel like they always put these stipulations on us when it comes to showing up a certain way. Um, I don't understand. I would never understand. Um, yeah, I don't. I'm lost for words because just thinking about like all the stuff that they do and how we have to be a certain way just to fit in their world when it's really we're coexisting in each other world.
Right.
So
And also, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I feel like we oftentimes come into an environment where we either have to prove that we belong, or we have to go above and beyond to be accepted, right?
right,
Um, because I can think of many times where if I didn't go out my way to say hey to somebody, or I didn't go out my way to say, hey, how's your morning going? They'll walk right past me, or, they don't say nothing.
yeah,
Even if we maybe done a community service event at the beginning of the year, might see them in the office 3 months later, walk right past me. I think a lot of times and like I said, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. A lot of times, us as black men in any space have to go outside of our, I wouldn't say comfort zone, but go out of our way to make some type of initiation or contact. It's not many times where someone will make contact with us first and say, "Hey, how's your morning going? Hey, what's your name?" on the elevator or something like that. We have to go outside of our day to day to make that happen. Uh, like even if
they
I,
just want us. You can curse. They want us to be ass kisses, and yeah, it's not gonna work out. No, it's
yes,
no.
yes, and even outside of work, if I just leave my house, I can go to the grocery store, I can go to the gas station. If I don't say nothing to anybody, nobody won't say nothing to me. Won't look
That
at me,
is
won't
so
say a thing,
true. Look
won't
you
say
dead in
anything.
your face.
Yeah,
Like
they
this
don't
morning.
say
So
nothing.
every morning I walk my dog, right? It's just like, but she's black, right? I walk my dog every morning, and I have manners, so of course I'm going to say good morning. Or I feel like if you don't say good morning or speak like you don't really have good manners or mannerisms. But I was told, or um growing up, if you see someone, you just speak, right? But sometimes I don't be in a speaking
Right,
mood. Right,
yeah,
and
that's
I'm not
true.
a really a morning person. But I walk my dog every morning and I see this lady, she's sitting on the corner like smoking her cigarette and whatnot, and I always say good morning to her and she ignores me, and I just be like,
Dang,
just
tough
so
world.
rude, lady.
It don't even
But
gotta be
I
like that.
Yeah, but sometimes like you have to realize you can't take certain things personal because
Right.
they're probably going through stuff. You don't know what she's thinking about in the morning. And so I don't take it personal. I just be like, oh well, she didn't speak today. Maybe she just didn't feel like talking, and that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you out early in the morning smoking a cigarette, you might be stressed already.
Right. So whatever. Kudos to that lady. She be all right.
Yeah, she'll be
Hopefully
fine.
she yeah. Okay. What's the most comfortable what's the most uncomfortable moment you have with imposter syndrome, and where you almost believe you didn't belong? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I have several instances, honestly. I can take it all the way back to going to University of South Carolina. I remember in my first class, it was a chemistry 101 class. It was like 110 students in there, and it was only three black students in there
Oh,
out
and
of
you
a
felt like you
hundred.
get
Yeah, as
yeah,
soon
I
as I
mean,
walked in that auditorium, I looked up. I was like, dang. And then all of us just sit, the three of us just in the corner in a little
yeah,
pocket. And I was like, dang, it feel like I don't even belong here. But that was like when I first really felt like imposter
yeah.
syndrome for the first time ever. When we take it to a corporate space, I would even say like my first corporate job when I first moved to Atlanta. Like I said, when I was like the only black male on the Southeastern team,
Mm-hmm.
I instantly felt like I didn't belong because I felt like I wasn't understood because they didn't work with anybody like me.
You
And I
was the
think
only black person?
black male, black male.
Oh, it was black women there, but only black. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. Well, it was a black woman on my team, but I was the only black male on the whole southeastern region.
Oh, okay.
So I instantly felt like I instantly felt imposter syndrome. And I think recruiting is a space where it's majorly dominated by white women.
Yes,
So you don't see many black males,
that's so
period,
true. That's
in
so true.
recruiting.
Yeah,
So you can come into a space instantly feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're not understood. And it takes kind of mustering through that to push forward and know that you're there for a better reason. If I wasn't on the team, then other black men or other black women maybe not vouched for in the interview process or doesn't have a voice as much. So you kind of have to push passion and know that you're there for a particular reason to add value to the team in a whole different way and look out for, diversity for sure.
yeah, for sure. That is true that you said that it's predominantly white women in those type of roles. Yeah,
Mhm.
I do
Yeah,
agree with that.
it is. And honestly, one of my managers, she was a white woman, one of my favorite managers that I had in corporate. She even pointed it out to me. She was like, you're in a field full of white women. How do you feel? And I was like, oh, well, thank you for asking. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. But she wasn't like that. Um,
Okay.
but she was very cool. So I'm glad that she had awareness to kind of ask that and showcase that she understood what it's like.
Did you ever receive any like retaliation in regards to like white women or like them trying to, how they be doing certain things to black men? Did you ever experience any like any mischievous or anything to or that they try to do to you?
Yeah, yeah, I would say at my last job, one of my it was weird because I got hired by a black lady. She hired me for the job, and then she left the job within about 6 months. And then one of my counterparts that was on the team with me moved into her role, so she eventually became my manager, and it was a white
Mm.
woman. She didn't have too much visibility over my work. For one, she was a new manager. She didn't, have any experience being a people manager before. So I
Oh,
probably was one of her first reports. She has a couple of
yeah.
other reports. Um, but I remember I would be doing my job and she would try to, I would say, undermine me or go above me to do things or make
Mhm.
decisions without my input. Um, and she just didn't have visibility over my work. Anytime we had a one-on-one, she didn't really come with anything. I kind of had to always have something on the agenda ready. Anytime I would be reporting on things, she didn't know what was going on in that way unless
Mm.
someone else was reporting it to her. So then I remember getting put on a PIP, a performance improvement plan, which came out of nowhere
What?
because I was actually doing my work. So I was like, why is this even a thing? And then I had to
Yeah.
meet with her manager to talk about it. And then her manager was like, "Yeah, I don't really. It looks like it's just miscommunication between y'all two. Because in the
Or not
PIP, it just
communication at all because
yeah,
she
or
said
not
like she,
communication at all.
yeah,
And even in the PIP, it said Corey's perception on the team is that he's not interested in his work. And I'm
girl.
like, just because I have a laid back demeanor, cool, calm, and collected,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in my role doesn't make sense when I'm doing my role and doing it well. But that's when I first realized, like, okay, this is different. This is a different, like, you gotta over communicate, you gotta document everything, you gotta have a folder with everything in it to like look.
Yes.
And even when she gave me the PIP, after she gave it to me, I already had a presentation filled out because I was like,
Mm.
I want you to know like the work that I've
Yeah.
been doing. And I was like, something, I knew this was coming just by something was telling me. So here's everything that
Right.
I've done. Here's
She
the
ain't like
metrics.
that.
She ain't like that at all. She was like, well, why didn't you tell me? And why? I'm like, what you mean? Why did we talk about these things? Like, what you mean? Like, so, so yeah. And I showed that to her manager. She was like, yeah, it look like you're doing the work. So I don't understand. I think it's just miscommunication. So
Yeah.
always got to
I
be
hate
ready.
that. Right. You always I feel like we always have to, like you just said, document everything and sometimes I feel like the workplace is so evil, like when
Yeah.
it comes to us, because it's like we always have to overdo everything. Like if you didn't, they always say if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. when certain situations, when you say, for instance, like if someone is going into corporate, don't have no experience and none of that, like they don't know to like document everything, or knowing that if you say something and it might be used against you, because HR doesn't care about you, they care about the company, and you reporting that is putting a target on your back. So like it's
Yep.
and I hate that it's like that. Like, why can't I come to you and trust the fact that if I'm telling you these issues, that you'll be able to escalate it and help me out with the situation, instead of putting a target on my back, and now I'm in an uncomfortable situation and I have to figure out how to navigate this unsafe work environment, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And even just the sole thing of reporting that you have questions,
Yeah.
or you're confused about something. Sometimes they might think that you're incompetent now, or you don't know how to do your
Mm,
job because you're asking questions, or you're asking too many questions, or you need too much feedback or follow up.
feedback.
It's like,
But don't they?
yeah, you need feedback so you continue to do well in the role,
Right.
especially if you're new. You can't just come in knowing everything. Like you're gonna come in with some knowledge, but you still have to adapt to the
Mm,
environment. So
so irritating. Like, listen, I left my corporate job because of what I told you before. Listen, the people, I mean, I liked the role, but I realized that I was really doing too much, and I had to sit back and realize, like, do I actually want to do this,
mhm,
or am I just doing it just to get ahead, to get more money, right? Because that's the
right.
only reason why we doing stuff anyway, because we want the paycheck.
Yeah, we try to make a living.
Right. Like, I don't really want to be around these people. And I was supervising some people, and they were mad because I was the youngest one and I was ahead of them, and they've been there for years, which I
Yeah.
can get it, but it's like now you want to start taking initiative when the young person come in, when you
Mhm.
ain't even had those interests. But
Yep, I've been in that situation before too.
and I didn't really have I experienced all this with black people, not white people.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's just solely white people. It's black people
Yeah.
as well. Anybody. I think it's just like a lot of times we experience it a lot as white people because we're a minority most of the time in the
Mm-hmm.
corporate space. But I don't run across black people that's the same way. So
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
feel like
not just
sometimes they be worse. And I don't
yeah,
understand. It's like, why you doing it? We come on, bro. Like,
right.
we trying to
We all try to do the same thing.
yeah, like why you being like that?
Yeah, it
Get
don't even
that
got to be
like
like that.
right. Okay, we going. Get off of that. Okay. How did becoming a father force you to confront parts of yourself you might ignore before?
Mm, honestly, I think just in general, fatherhood changes you.
Really?
It
I don't have
changes
no
you.
kids, so I don't know. I mean, I got a dog, but I mean,
Close
it
enough.
changed me a little bit. That's.
It just requires more discipline. It requires more future thinking. It requires being more meticulous about like how you're moving. Whether you're married or not, like for me, example, I'm married, so I want my son to have a good example of, you know, a husband doing right to his wife.
Yeah.
So making sure like every decision I make is positive for him and her at the same time.
Yes.
And it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of pressure because you're trying to keep a whole human alive. So that changes you
Mhm.
in general. You know, like I go from being free flowing to like I'm gonna just get up at 9. I'm gonna just do this or that to like being very regimented to like I need to get up by
Yeah.
7, have this going, make sure he's eating, sleeping, make sure wife got some breakfast, make sure I go do my thing. Like, so I think it changes your whole mentality in the sense of like I feel like life is more purposeful. So causes you
Okay.
to make that causes you to be a little bit more meticulous with decisions.
Okay. I hear that. I be thinking about, oh, do I even want a kid right now
Hey,
in
this
this
economy is
economy?
crazy. It's crazy.
Like,
I
you
uh,
know, mm,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
it's a little
And
sticky.
daycare itself. We was just
Yeah, they
touring
be
some
hitting y'all
daycares.
head with
It's
that.
like a mortgage for daycare, like starting at like 800, 2,000 a month. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
I don't know why. I mean, I get that you're supposed to be with that kid all day, right? But don't y'all give them stuff for your kids, like food and stuff like that? And
Hmm. Hmm.
they like,
They're like, hey,
nah.
you need us because we're gonna be convenient. So we're gonna charge you over the head. So
Do
yeah, it's
they
a lot.
watch our kids overnight? I mean, that's
Nah,
rent. So
might as well. Shoot, if we need it, might
right.
as well.
Yeah, I never understood them prices.
Might as well. I mean, I feel like, and then when you look at the compensation of what the actual caretakers are getting paid in the daycare, they're low paid. So it's like, where all this money going? Like the people that's actually watching your kids don't get barely get paid
They
minimum wage.
don't.
Yeah.
Right.
So where all this money going?
Mm, 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 mm. Okay. That's crazy. What's one lie about masculinity you had to unlearn to become a better man?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. Um, I think one lie that I had to unlearn is that masculinity has a look. I think you always hear that masculinity has a look. A man that's masculine gonna be 6 feet 8, 230 pounds. Like, it's like a look. And I think
Right.
that's something that I had to unlearn because I'm a fairly slim guy. So I'm not no 230 pounds. I'm 5'10", probably about 170 wet. So I'm not one of those like you look at me and be like, oh, this person is. But I think what I had to learn is that it's truly intrinsic. It's not extrinsic. So it's like, to me, a masculine man can control his emotions, great
Yes.
decision making,
Yes.
learn knowing how to lead, financial stability. I think all
Mhm.
that kind of shows like a man being masculine versus somebody having a look, but inside not having the intrinsic things.
I think you can still be masculine and lack some of those things.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so do you think masculine is just like you being a man, period?
No, I don't think so. Because I do think some men have feminine traits, and some women have masculine traits.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Me,
the
me
soul,
I yeah.
yeah, I don't think the soul, like being a man, period, makes you masculine. I think you showing up in a certain way can deem if you're masculine or not, in my eyes.
Hmm.
And I think it's me, like for me, like from man to man, like I know if a man have masculine traits the moment I shake his hand. Like if I could look him in the eye, we
Oh,
have a
that
strong
firm.
grip,
Yeah.
and we have a firm grip, and we can like chop it up, and we can talk about like he's not leading with accolades and leadership and all this. Like we can truly just have a genuine conversation, and then we can kind of get into that. That's kind of like steering me in a direction like, okay, he's comfortable in his skin, and I think that's the very, very start of being masculine. It's like a man being secure in himself, um, and not letting his insecurities make decisions for him.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like a lot of women operate in masculinity when it comes to work too, because
Mm,
always have to we have to figure out how to take care of ourselves if we don't have that man with us.
right, right.
So yeah, but we don't like doing it. We just have to do it,
Right,
right?
right.
But
And
it
I mean, I
definitely show
mean,
up.
I feel like from my experience, a lot of women are good at turning the masculine traits
It's
on
a
and off.
switch.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's not
for
something
sure.
that's just there
Yeah,
24/7. So
right, right, right. Yeah. To be honest, do you ever feel like you're living two lives between corporate life and content creation?
yeah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, I feel like the two, like they're two different, like they're two
Yeah,
different things.
yeah, they
Like
are.
I put my corporate hat on, and I could be corporate Corey, and I could take my corporate hat off, and I can do content creation. So one day I'm walking into an environment I don't have any control over, and then the next day I'm walking into an environment where I have full
Have
control over
yeah.
my autonomy, my schedule, things like that. So I think it is a little bit of, yeah, I do feel like I can live two lives for sure. But also my content. is intertwined in my corporate as well,
With
because I
corporate.
do,
Yeah.
talk about like corporate advice, lifestyle, vlogs, men's lifestyle. So all that kind of goes into it too. But in the grand scheme of things, I do sometimes feel like I'm living two separate lives. A
Two
lot of
separate
people
lives.
always ask, how do I balance
Balance.
both?
Yeah.
And, but I think that's why I'm able to balance both well, because like I'm not the type of content creator where I could I'm full time, so I have a little bit more autonomy to kind of do things how I want in a sense. I
Yeah,
think
I feel
if I
that.
were to go, full time, I'll be forced to probably take more brand partnerships because I gotta
Hmm.
eat, family gotta eat.
Yeah.
So I'm very picky about partnerships. I'm very picky about podcasts I'm on. I'm very picky about like those things because I'm not the content creator that's riding on content creation. I still have my nine to
Yeah.
five that I'm
Right, right.
balancing.
I totally understand that because I feel like content creation it's like being free, like being able to like be yourself. You're free from
Yeah,
everything. Like even when it comes to like my podcast, it's like I'm controlling this, right?
hmm
I get to figure out what type of questions I'm asking, who I want to show up, you
nobody on your
know.
back.
Right. Nobody telling me this is, how it's supposed to be and how
Exactly.
many. No, it does come a time where I have to, match the algorithm and produce so many, contents and stuff like that. That's the only thing I hate. Like
Right, right.
you have to be, a certain way to, on to pick up on the algorithm. But I feel like content creation is just like being free, but then working it's like restriction, all these rules.
hmm
Nobody likes rules. We
Yeah,
don't want to listen to the rules.
yeah, it's a lot, and a lot of unspoken rules at
Yes.
that. Rules you don't even know existed, but people know it exists.
Yeah. Honestly, I was talking about this the other day. I was we abide by so many rules and we get mad about the rules, but honestly, men created rules. I just want to let you know that. Y'all created the rules that we gotta follow. It's like, but y'all be mad at these rules that y'all created. And it's
Right.
like, y'all did this to us.
I mean, hey, so some way, somewhere down the line, those rules got construed a little bit,
Yeah.
and they
I mean,
keep and they keep branching off into different things, and yeah, it just
yeah,
mm-mm.
I get it. Some of the rules provided structure
Yeah, yeah,
and everything, but then some of them rules are listed in control, complete
hmm
control.
right, right.
And yeah, no.
Yeah, some
Mm-mm.
rules are to provide structure, and some rules, like you said, are to be so they can control you in certain atmospheres and
Yes.
place boundaries on where you can go and how you can do it. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
We don't like that.
yeah, I don't either, and that's why I do both. I'm in a
Right.
controlled, structured environment, and I'm in an environment where it's just straight me.
Do you ever think you'll leave corporate life?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
For
about
sure.
that every day. I'm like,
Really?
when it's not a point of do I think, it's like when should I do it?
When should
That's
I do it?
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that for you. I
yeah.
love that. Yeah, I love
So
that.
I'm like
Because
I
a lot of
say,
people don't have that.
I,
Yeah.
I tell I tell my friends I'm one pissed off day away from being like, forget all this. Somebody pissed me off one good time, forget all this. I'm going doing my own thing.
I feel you, but make sure you have a backup plan because a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
times we act off of impulses, and
yeah,
sometimes those
yeah.
decisions that we make,
And then you look
we got
back
to
and be
deal with
like,
those
dang,
consequences. I feel
right.
like I had to experience that. Like I left my job last year, and I was thinking that I had a plan that it was going to be this way, and then God
Mhm.
said, "Ha ha ha, you thought," and it
That's
ain't
how
gonna be
it
like
be.
that, right?
hmm
So you got to be okay with the decisions you make and them consequences that lead up to those decisions. So I stood
Hey,
in it. I'm standing in it, but I ain't
with
like it. But
without risk, there's no reward. So,
that's right. Yeah.
you know,
But I'm glad I did do it because I feel like it gave me time to figure out like what I actually want to do, and it also made me deal with the uncertainty of looking at certain things in a certain way.
hmm
So
hmm
yeah, I'm glad I wouldn't. I
It all
wouldn't
works out.
do it
It
no
all
way.
works out.
Yeah, it does work out. Okay. What does Black Boy Joy actually look like for you? And when was the last time you truly felt it?
Black Boy Joy. I think Black Boy Joy for me looks like having a space to be creative. Like I don't have I'm not bogged down by decision making. I'm not bogged down by anything holding me back. I have space to just sit and think and be creative. And that brings me the most joy because I enjoy creating content. I enjoy picking up a camera, filming, editing. I love it all. So when
You
I'm
like
able to be,
editing?
yeah, I like editing.
I
I
hate
like
editing. Hate,
I,
hate with a hate.
I love it. I love creating a story and like I'm the type of person where if I have an idea, I like the process and make sure that idea come into fruition.
Right.
So the editing
Yeah.
process, I'm like, I know exactly how this want to look. I know exactly
Right.
how the story want to go. Let me piece together, and then seeing the end product. That's all I need to
Right.
see. I'm good. But
I
yeah, I
mean,
do
I
like
like
editing,
that part. I just don't like the whole because it's
chopping
so
it
like,
up, and
yeah, it's so
yeah,
time consuming. You want it to
yeah,
look, but then you get it's so many looks and so many things like you can do with it. And my
hmm
brain, I'm like really really creative. My brain goes like 1,000 per minute, and I'm
and
like,
you like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to add
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think that's
yeah.
but yeah, that's part of it. That's part of my Black Boy joy. But also me being able to get out into the world. Like I love cycling, I like golfing.
Okay, I was
Like
about to
those
ask you about stuff like that.
yeah, those are my things I like to do outside of the home. The last time I felt it, I know I went to the golf range about 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
yeah, I try to get out there with my boys and my friends every now and then.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I try to make sure I can at least do my golfing and cycling, even walking or running, at least if I can't do it on a weekly basis, bi-weekly, twice a month, something, I gotta get it in.
Hmm. I like that. Yeah. I don't know how to golf. I think it's hard. I went to a golf event. Yeah.
It is hard. It is. I'm still learning
I didn't
myself.
think it would be that hard though. It's just hitting the ball, but yeah.
Honestly, out of all the sports I've ever played, I think golf is the hardest one
Golfing is really hardest one.
that I've ever picked up
You
because
can do it.
every club is a different swing. Every course is different. It's yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Do you partake in like facials and like manicures and stuff like that, like wellness when it comes to I feel like a lot of men are like getting into that maintenance part, which is a good thing,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I think that's yeah part of self care. I think
Yeah,
you gotta if you don't look good, you don't feel good.
that's true.
That's my mentality. So yeah, I I have my own little self care routine that I do at night. You know, I get my little facial scrub. My wife got me some stuff to put under my eyes. So she be introducing me to little different
Yes.
things that I be doing. Um, I haven't dabbled into getting like manicures and pedicures though. That might be next on my list. I might go with her one
Yeah.
day, see how that goes. But yeah, I enjoy self care. I enjoy, the feeling of feeling fresh out the
Yeah.
shower, putting on some fresh clothes, getting my beard trimmed and stuff, going to the
Hmm.
barbershop. Like I enjoy all that.
Yeah. Do you feel like before you met your wife, you were indulging in self care, or it happened when she arrived in your life?
Yeah, yeah. I was indulging in self care. She's introduced me to like some good products, like the products I'll be using. I don't think I don't think
I
they
know
would.
y'all be stealing women products.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all be having the good stuff. So I'm like, oh, let me put this on. Let me put these little drops on my face.
Right.
So yeah, she's introduced me to a lot of different products outside of the ones that I used to use. But yeah,
Okay.
I had my own little routine going on before I
Routine.
met her.
Okay, that's good. Good. Okay. Serious question. If you
Yeah,
were stripped away from the title, the job, and success, who would you really be?
I'll be I'll be a person that's just about the community.
That's right.
Outside of work, outside of content creation, outside of any
And
success I have, I always go back to community. So giving back to
yeah.
the community, volunteering, I'm in Emerging 100 of Atlanta, so we do a lot around the community, scholarships, community service events, things like that. So I would just be a man about the community. You will see me out in the streets doing something community based.
That's good.
Um, and then outside of that, just being a cool, calm, collected guy still, somebody you can come to, talk to about your problems. I'm going to listen. If you want advice, I'll give you advice, or I'll just be a listening ear.
I like that. You like that? You like being people coming to you with problems and stuff?
All the time. I just had one yesterday. Somebody I ain't talked to 3 years ago text me. It was like, hey, I know this guy that needs some guidance. Would you mind connecting with him?
Oh, that's good.
I was like, yeah, send him my way. I'll talk to him, see what's going on.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So you like the therapist of the group?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, I am too. I'm
Yeah,
very I'm the therapist of the group. If
yeah,
you want to talk to me, I'm about to give you that guidance, but I'm not gonna give it to you I'm not gonna give it to you the way that you want to get it. I'm gonna be straight,
yeah.
blunt with it, and yeah, we're gonna get into it.
You must be an Aries.
No, I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, I'm about to say that's an Aries trait. Being straight,
Being
blunt,
blunt.
to the
Yeah.
point. That's what we known for. We'll tell it to you straight, whether
Yeah.
it hurts your feelings or not. That's why I
Oh
always tell
yeah.
people if you come to me, I'm gonna tell it to you real.
Right. You sure you
So
want this in life?
yeah, you sure? You sure you want my opinion? All
Right.
right.
Yeah. I think sometimes I come off too blunt. In the past, friends have said that I'm too blunt, but I be like, y'all just sensitive. I don't like
Yeah, I
that
mean,
sensitive stuff.
my thing is when it comes to being blunt, I don't think I think being too blunt is like when you be disrespectful with it. But as long as you respectful with it, what's too blunt? If it's real,
Yeah. I think sometimes I had to watch out for my delivery a
that too.
little bit, just a teeny bit, because I can say some stuff and won't care that it hurts your feelings sometimes because it's factual, right? And I'd be
Right,
like,
right.
well, what you get mad at me for because it's true.
Yeah,
But
that's true. Yeah, delivery. I
sometimes
forgot about that. Delivery. Yeah, you definitely gotta deliver it in a smooth way where it doesn't affect the egos and emotions.
I do feel like people is real sensitive though. I
Yeah,
do.
social media made people that way.
I feel like the pandemic made people sensitive because they weren't outside with people.
Yeah,
So
just
they only had
inside.
to talk. Yeah, they only had to talk to themselves. I mean, I was
I'm
outside.
about to say where you was at. You
I
wasn't
was
talking to
working. I
yourself?
was a service work. I was in the hospital.
Oh, okay. So you was working while everybody else was at
Yeah,
home just
everybody was. I was working every single day in the pandemic.
oh
Every
man.
single day, I was a service. What was called service provider. Yeah, I was out. I was
Yeah, well I
outside.
was one of the ones that I was at home for sure. I wasn't.
Yeah, I do feel like people be sensitive, but it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay. Y'all
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, as long as you don't act out of it, I think that's cool and aware of it, but if you
Yeah,
sensitive, cool.
yeah. I have to train myself to be a little bit more empathetic with
Mm,
people.
hmm
You
I
know,
had to train
it.
myself on that too.
Oh my God, it's so hard.
I
It's
had
so
to too.
hard.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
tell
hard.
my wife that all the time. Especially when I first met her, I had to kind of train myself to be more empathetic for sure.
Yeah,
Um, because it's hard, like you said, it's hard.
yeah, it is
It's
hard.
hard.
Yeah. So, what do you think Black men are still avoiding when it comes to self awareness? And what would happen if they finally faced it?
Hmm.
Ooh, I wish they would just, I wish y'all would just be vulnerable and be honest. Like, I feel like it saves a lot of trouble when it comes to a lot of things. Like, if y'all just express exactly how you feel,
Yeah.
regardless of how it'll make anyone. At least you honest. We respect people more when they honest and upfront.
Yeah, I think that's the point I was going to definitely say, especially like just communication. I think
Yeah.
a lot of times black men aren't taught how to effectively communicate until you reach a point in your life and you like, I
Yes.
gotta switch up, I gotta switch up how I'm communicating with people. And that also includes saying what's on your mind, saying what's on your chest, not bottling things up, not feeling like you can't speak about a certain scenario or situation.
Yeah.
Um, because, like you said, if and showing your emotions on your sleeve. I think a lot
Mm.
of black men avoid doing that because they feel
Yes.
like it'll be used against us at some
Against
point.
us. Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but if those things actually happen and more black men would face it, I think one there'll be um, less domestic violence.
Yeah.
I think there'll be less suicides. I think
Yes.
there'll be less men incarcerated because
Yeah.
there'll be less people acting out of emotion. They kind of
Yes.
process those. And then also, if they face it, I think there'll be more successful black men because you have to kind of
Mm.
face those things when you come into a corporate setting. When
Mm-hmm.
you go into any environment, you kind of
Right.
have to
Right.
have a grasp on some of those things for sure.
Why do you think so many men, mind you, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you think so many men are like, I know you guys are doing it now, but it's still not enough men who are out there actually operating in mental awareness? Why do you think so men are still on that? I can't fully be vulnerable, even though society now is making it okay for men to be that way.
I think it's conditioning. Growing up, being conditioned a certain way because a lot of men we grew up being like, "What you crying for? You can't cry.
Yeah,
Why you being emotional like this? Don't be a girl. Don't be a So
yeah,
I think that early on stage of hearing those early on makes you kind of grow up masking some of those things, even if you feel like you should cry in a situation. You keep hearing that in the back of your head, like, I shouldn't
mm-hmm.
cry. I shouldn't cry.
Cry, yeah,
But also, I think the mental health aspect of it I think it's still sometimes viewed as weak to some men. I think some men feel like if
mm,
they be emotional, cry, any of those things, it's them not being masculine. I think they try to avoid that at all costs. I would say when men are conditioned from a younger age to kind of mask their emotions, like, oh, what you crying for? Don't cry. It kind of forms them, it kind of pushes them to form this mentality that they can't be emotional or they can't be um, crying. And some men just consider that as
yeah,
weak. So when you think
weak,
about like
right,
mental health and talking to someone about your emotions and potentially having to be in a space where it might make you cry, they avoid it because they don't want to be faced with those emotions, if that makes
emotion,
sense.
yeah. I be feeling so bad for you guys because you guys bottle up so many emotions
Yeah.
and you don't really know how to actively express those emotions without feeling like you're going to be weak or without society on your back saying this is, that. So I just hopefully we can get to a point where, a lot of men are coming out of that shell and being more open to be vulnerable in certain spaces.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing it more often now. I see it
Yes.
more, men talk about mental health, going to
Yes.
therapy and things like that. So that definitely helps because that's the start of it all. It's like the
Yeah.
awareness. The
Right.
awareness. If you're at least aware that you should talk to somebody or you feel a certain way and you might
Mhm.
need, additional input, then that's the first step.
Yeah. But the only thing I don't like, I don't like when men say they in therapy, but they not really doing the work
Yeah,
in therapy. Because
that's
I feel
another.
like now it's like, oh, I'm in therapy, but it's like, are you doing the work in
Yeah,
therapy though?
yeah. Are you doing
Like
the
I feel like
homework?
people, yeah, I feel like people just like going to therapy because it's trending now, right?
Right, right.
But is you
Yeah,
is you doing the work?
are you doing the work? Are you actually, taking in what therapist saying? Or are you just going just to say you going? That is true, which a
Yeah.
lot of people do,
Mhm.
and don't make any change. It
No,
still takes
at
that
all.
extra layer of
Yeah.
wanting to be better versus just going just to go.
Yeah. 100%. Well, guys, this was a wonderful conversation with Corey. Thank you so much, Corey. Guys, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe Corey Jones and myself as a Black Impact podcast. Um, Any advice you want to give the audience, Corey?
Um, Advice. I would say just no matter what, keep going. I think, especially if you're in a corporate space, you might be feeling some of the things that we talked about today. Continue to push forward and know that you're in a space as a minority to be a voice for other minorities. One of my main things in life is as continuing to climb, continue to pull up. So we can only continue to pull up people into these spaces if we're in these spaces,
Yes.
which may be a lot of weight on your shoulders, but just know, being in those spaces and taking in some of the things that we're talking about also helps the next generation or the next person get an
Yeah.
opportunity, and how you show up in these spaces help you know the overall look on Black people in general in a positive way, hopefully, if you're being positive at work. So I would say keep going, keep striving for greatness. If you want more corporate tips, more advice on how to navigate the space, if you want to follow my lifestyle, my journey into fatherhood and navigating the space and navigating life as a Black man, you can follow me on all platforms, Corey M. Jones 3, on every single platform. So, yeah, hopefully y'all come check me out.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much, Corey. I really appreciate you for coming on today. It was a wonderful conversation. Guys, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. His information will be in the description below. And we're gonna see you on the next episode of the Black Impact, guys. All right, bye.